Hey everyone, welcome back to 25 Sweet Peas. Today, as you can probably already tell, I'm going to be showing you the swatch video that I finally have done for the new China Glaze Spring Collection called The Arrangement. It consists of 12 different polishes that are quite kind of mixed up, meaning not all of them are super spring-like, but I think there's probably a polish for everyone in this collection. It does have a really nice balance of darks and some shimmers and some glitters, and of course spring shades as well. So I'm really looking forward to swatching these with you guys, and I will say that my footage got lost for two different polishes, but they weren't a big deal, so we'll just talk about those at the end. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have Senora Flora, and this is a really pretty shade. First looking at it, it kind of looks like it's going to be orange, but really it kind of goes on more of like a peachy or almost a corally shade, which I'm super behind. It takes about 2 coats, but as you can see, it has a really nice formula, and this does dry down to one of those kind of matte like satin finishes that China Glaze does. This time, however, it went on much nicer than past matte shades. Next up, we have This is Ranunculus, and this is a really neat shade. This is kind of a take on the dusty trend for spring, where it's kind of a dusty blue that pulls a little green in there as well. This also has a silver shimmer in it. Now in the past, whenever I've seen like a creamy polish have this sort of shimmer, sometimes the shimmer gets lost and it doesn't actually translate to the nail. But this time it really does, which I'm super excited about because I think it really kind of makes this polish different and unique, and I really love how it looks. And as you can see, it definitely does pull a little green. Next up, we have Hydrangea Dangea, and this is another really pretty shade, one of my favorites probably because it is kind of a very springy, happy color. I would kind of consider it a blue, but I'd also kind of consider it like a periwinkly blue. It really depends what it is up against. As you can see here, this first coat does go on rather sheer, but the second coat really builds up rather quickly, and it does cover in 2 coats completely. Also, something I wanted to mention, this is all of the new formula, so all of these China Glazes have the new 7 free formula and the big brushes, which I'm really happy about. I'm so excited to see China Glaze taking that step forward with that beyond the Christmas collection. Next up, we have Showem Her Blossom, which I think is such a cute name. This is kind of what I would normally see as a fall color, a mossy green shade, but they really kind of lightened it and turned it into more of a dusty mossy green, which makes it really nice for all the floral colors that you see coming in the spring. So I do really love this one. 2 coats gave me perfect coverage, and I actually wore this for a day or 2 maybe, and I absolutely just loved how it looked on my nails. So I was very pleased. Next up, we have Lavenduh, which again, really cute name in this whole collection. I think they just did a really good job with all the names, very punny and fun. This one is definitely on the lavender side, but this would kind of be like, sometimes you see a periwinkle and it pulls more blue. Sometimes you see a periwinkle and it pulls more lavender. And I feel like this is the latter, where it does kind of pull lavender, but it does have some blue elements in it, making it a periwinkle, but not like a full-on blue periwinkle, more of the lavender periwinkle. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Next up, we have Saved by the Bluebell, which is a super cute name. It makes me think of Heart of Dixie because it takes place in Bluebell. Anyway, this is a very dark shade for a spring collection, but it is kind of a dark navy, but I want to almost say that it has a hint of like a teal in there, so it's not your traditional navy shade. As you can see, that first coat went on kind of sheer, and you kind of feel like it's going to be like a jelly polish, but it's really not, because in the second coat you get full coverage, and it just looks like a full coverage cream, which again I'm super impressed by, and I feel like it had a great formula. Next up, we have a pink shade, and this one is called There She Rose Again, and this one is probably, I'm gonna venture to say, my least favorite, but not because it is bad. This is actually a jelly polish, so this goes on really rather sheer, so you're probably gonna need 3 to 4 coats depending on how bold your nail line is. Now, the reason that I just like wasn't a huge fan of it was because of that. Whenever I saw the polish, it looked like it was going to be really creamy, and then it was a jelly, and I was like, I had my heart set on this shade in a cream, and that didn't really happen, which is like the only reason that I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I still do think it is a really pretty polish, and if you were looking for a good jelly cream pink, I think this is a good option because it does have a really nice formula. It goes on very evenly and it just does have a good like jelly feel to it. Next up, we actually have the same polish that we had on, but we're putting on one of the toppers called Better Late Than Nectar. And this is a very small, fine, shimmery topper that pulls orange with a hint of pink. And I feel like I love how it looks layered with that pink. Next up, we have Good As Marigold, which is the perfect name for this because it totally has a marigold-like appearance in the polish-wise. It is definitely orange, but you are pulling in some of that like warm orange tone. So this covers perfectly in 2 coats. As you can see, that first coat was actually really good. That second coat really seals the deal and it brings us up to full coverage. Next up and lastly that I actually have swatch footage of is I Still Beleaf. And while this is not to me a spring shade, I absolutely loved the polish. I feel like it has a really good formula. This is kind of what I would consider like a steel gray shade, but there's definitely a green tone in this, pulling a bit more green. And I also want to say there's like some golden specks in here as well. So overall, really great. I think it has a good formula. It covers perfectly in 2 coats, and I'm definitely going to grab for this in the fall. Now, next up are the 2 polishes that I didn't quite apparently get footage for, and here we have Wildflower Hour, which is just a fine topper. It is a little bigger than the past topper that we just spoke about, but I'm wearing this on top of that navy blue, and it has a really good even distribution, and I do really like this. Again, it's not something I would necessarily wear in the summer because it is a darker glitter topper. I don't tend to wear those with like a brighter summery or springy shade, but I do feel like it is going to be a great one for the fall. Next up we have, next up and lastly, we have What's Up Buttercup. And this one again, this is a more of a fall shade to me, but I do absolutely love it. I did not expect to like this one at all, but it just has a really nice formula for this type of polish. Usually these metallic like polishes from China Glaze usually give us a lot of brush strokes, but I truly do believe that this one doesn't because of the new brush. The new brush just covers more of your nail. You're not having to do as many strokes, and I just feel like this one covered really nicely and in 2 coats. Perfect. It just really looks nice on your nails in my opinion. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this whole arrangement collection. All of these polishes are available now. You should be able to pick them up at your Sally's, possibly your Ulta, and of course various online retailers. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I do have some nail art planned coming out very soon with some of these polishes, so be on the lookout for that. And if you guys have any questions or requests or anything, let me know in the comments down below and I will be sure to get with you. And if you want to see the blog post that has of course more pictures of these polishes and whatnot, you can. That is also linked in the description box. Okay, one last time, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys later. I hope you're having a wonderful day and bye!